Chris Stuker for GeekNerdNet.com. I am at the 2022 Edmonton Expo, and I'm super stoked to be talking to Brian O'Halloran. Hello.
Good to see you again, Chris. I think we met each other back in 2018, you were saying.
That's right, we did, and then we won't go into all the details behind that, but it's great to see you again. Clerks III is been released in the States already, right?
Yeah, it's been playing in the States since the 4th. That was the tour date release, and then the wide release was on the 13th. It opens here in Canada on the 21st, Wednesday. Just 2 days as of right now, Wednesday the 21st, and then the following Sunday. And then I think they may open it up after that, but we don't know. It all depends on how amazing people here in Canada get to the theaters.
Nice, and I do love that it's being released on New Comic Book Day. I mean, you know, that's a nice tie.
Yeah. You know, when it comes to Kevin and comic books, it's a no-brainer when to bring people out.
Nice. Well, let's chat about, obviously, Clerks III. Clerks, by the way, I will say on a personal note, one of my favorite movies. I mean, I love them all, and I'm not just blowing smoke. I actually mean that, man. But talking about Clerks III, give us a bit of a rundown without spoilers, you know, all that good stuff.
Sure. So Clerks III takes place like 15 years after Clerks II. It's kind of meta in its creation where Randall, and I'm not saying anything that's out of the ordinary here because it's in the trailer. If you watch the trailer on YouTube for the Clerks III, you see that the Randall character has a heart attack and decides, oh my God, I've done nothing with my life. And he's such a big fan of movies, and Dante kind of suggests, well, I always thought you'd be able to make a movie. And he's like, oh my God. And he has this epiphany that he wants to make a movie about his own life, which ostensibly is the original Clerks. So we kind of go back and kind of play all our greatest hits from the original Clerks movie, but seeing Dante and Randall making it, and just the funny stories that are almost based on true life events that happened to us while making the original Clerks as well.
Yeah.
Plus there's other things that the boys tackle. Next door, Jay and Silent Bob have opened up their own cannabis shop, so their own dispensary. It's pretty
Of course
funny.
they have.
Well, yeah, it's the natural progression
Yeah.
of getting older and going like, I don't want to work for anybody, I want to work for myself.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of feel where they kind of come into their own at this point. So you see the growth of both Dante and Randall as characters and of Jay and Silent Bob, but also see where these guys have traveled in their own life journey all these years later.
Nice. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Brian, I have to ask you this. I know you're asked this a million times, man, but I'm just going to ask anyway. Sure. The ride, I'll call it that. The ride you've been on, and the cast, everyone with Kevin and the crew from the beginning of Clerks to now. I mean, what's it mean to you?
You know, I've been incredibly blessed to, out of the gate being my first film, actually all of our first film, to have done something that we enjoyed making, but that so many people caught on to and agreed that they enjoyed the type of comedy we wanted to make and that we did make, that, potentially led us to work with such a great, prolific kind of comedy writer as Kevin is, to work on movies after that, Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Dogma and the Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back and of course, the reboot and Clerks 2, and now here we are with Clerks 3. It's been really amazing that people actually still care about these characters, still want to see where they're at. And I think the fact that we take these snapshots, one movie is 11 years later, the next movie is 15 years later, it gives enough time in both our real lives plus these characters' lives to go, oh yeah, I would love to see where they are these days, especially with what has been going on in the world in the past, couple of years or couple of decades. And the fact that the fans come back, and they've been coming back, especially in the States, in droves to see this movie, and then it's a love letter to the fan base, especially if you've been around with us since the very beginning in '94 till now. You're definitely gonna just absolutely, it's gonna hit you in all the right parts, all the kind of callbacks that we do from the other movies till now. You'll catch it all. And if you haven't been a fan from then, and if you watch Clerks 1 and Clerks 2, I think that's all you need to do to watch this movie and catch all the inside jokes that we pull out.
Nice. And you talk about the passage of time, and the thing that I love is the evolution of these characters and their development is almost in that real time, because they're like, look, we're not trying to hide, or we're not trying to say, oh, it's still the same time, they're still the same age, all this crap that some shows do. So that must feel pretty good. It's like, yeah, this is who we are now, and this is what we're putting out there.
Yeah, we are not the Simpsons. We are not
nice.
It's very easy to have a voiceover person just continue with those kind of kids for 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
It's a great gig if you can get it. But yes, we do physically have a passage of time, and we are human adults that have issues of growing over, as we all will.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, listener. You too are going to go through physical changes as well. So it's that type of thing where if, like I said, if you're a fan of ours from the very beginning in '94 to now, and you yourself have grown and had life issues that hit you, you'll really empathize with what the film is saying.
Cool. Awesome. Brian Halloran, thanks, man. Thanks for taking the time.
Not at all, man. Chris, thank you so much. It's way too long since I've been up here in Edmonton. It's good to be back, and I'd love to come back next time, too.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
Cheers.